Hi friends, welcome to our channel. Today we are going to review the horror movie Evil Dead Rise. Released in the US theaters on April 21st, 2023.
What will be.
This movie is rated R, considering the violence, blood and horrible deaths. The length of the movie is 1 hour and 36 minutes. In life, some problems comes to us and a lot of problems we go to them. This movie is about the latter, where the kid Danny brings out an evil entity alive with his foolish actions. With the storyline, it is of no surprise that there will be more sequels lined up after this one.
It was the perfect day.
This movie begins with a drone flying over a mountain and a lake house where three people, Jessica, Teresa, and Caleb, are vacationing. Teresa, reading the book Wuthering Heights near the lake, goes into the house to check on Jessica. Teresa sees Jessica's body off the bed. Though Jessica appears to be dead, when Teresa approaches her, Jessica tears off Teresa's scalp.
Your body's.
Jessica also kills Caleb before levitating above the lake.
All you can do is run.
With the title coming up on the screen in bold capital letters. We then go back a day in the past. The guitar technician Beth is confused and upset to realize that she is pregnant. She then decides to visit her sister Ellie, living in an old Los Angeles apartment complex with her three kids, Danny, Bridget, and Casey. It was a rainy night and the apartment looked scary enough for the movie. With Bridget planning and preparing to go to the Labor Day protest next day, Danny spending time on his music, and Casey cutting a toy's head to make a weapon, Mom, Ellie, is working on her daily chores. Beth gives a small jewelry to the young cute Casey.
I was just a little girl.
Ellie asks Danny to take his two sisters and pick up few pizzas for dinner. When the kids get back with the pizzas to the apartment basement parking, a 4-point earthquake creates a crack in the floor, revealing a secret concealed chamber. Danny decides to go into the chamber, finding religious artifacts, a book inside a damaged coffin, and a few phonograph records from the year 1923. Ellie is seen requesting help from her neighbors to go in search of her kids, but they all get back safely to the apartment using the elevator, even though it does appear to be damaged from the earthquake. At home, Danny's initial attempt to open the book goes in vain, but during this attempt, he pokes himself and the drop of blood falling onto the book gets absorbed immediately. Danny, without knowing the consequences, plays the first phonograph disc to hear about efforts of a priest researching the said book called the Book of the Dead. When he plays the second disc, he hears the priest reciting an incantation that summons a demonic entity. Danny, feeling something is wrong, tries to switch off the phonograph, but he cannot stop the player. When the incantation stops, Ellie, using the elevator for laundry, is attacked by an invisible evil spirit.
I found it.
She then comes into the apartment, switches on the stove top and breaks a lot of eggs.
What's up, sis?
Beth and the kids, in a confused state, ask her what is happening. Ellie tells them that something is inside her and pleads with Beth to protect her children at any cost.
It's me. Don't let it take my babies.
She then vomits and dies. With the earthquake damaging the stairs and the elevator not working anymore, the neighbors help Ellie to rest in her bedroom and search for a way out. Beth gets more confused when she gets a call from Ellie asking for help. After a few minutes, Ellie comes back like a zombie.
No matter how busy you ever got, you always found time for me. I can't believe I'm never gonna speak to you again.
And is seen in the bathtub making weird noises.
Mom?
Mommy's with the maggots now.
Making a huge cry, she starts to attack Beth and the kids.
Eeny, meeny, miny. You.
Ellie tells them that she wants to cut all of them open and climb inside their bodies, just like the picture that is seen in the Book of the Dead. She then attacks and injures Bridget, but Beth gets to lock Ellie outside the apartment. Neighbors coming out of their apartment to look at what is happening gets massacred by Ellie. Bridget, looking at her injuries, starts to realize that she is turning evil too. She soon starts to bleed from her eyes, nose, and all over her face. Casey is seen going to the door to take a peek at her mom outside.
Open up now.
You don't look so good, Mom.
Even though Casey gets tricked by the evil entity to open the door, Beth comes back quickly in time to close it.
Nothing a big old kiss from you won't fix.
Casey gets to accept the fact that her mom is no more. When Beth asks Danny and Casey to go to the room, she notices that Bridget, sitting in a weird manner in the kitchen, has turned evil and eating glass. Beth and Danny get to kill Bridget and roll her body in a carpet. Casey asks Beth if Bridget will come back like zombie, just like her mom. When Danny finally realizes what is happening, he tells the truth to Beth and admits that it is all his fault.
What is this, Danny?
I found it.
What will I be?
He shows the Book of the Dead and the phonograph disc to Beth. Beth decides to listen to the disc to see if there is something in there that could help her. Beth listens to the third record to understand how to exorcise the evil spirit and learns that only the complete destruction of the O's stops it. At this time, Ellie gets back into the apartment using their ventilation shafts. Bridget, coming back from the dead, pierces a knife into Denny to kill him.
This is what happened to Mom. It happened to us.
Beth promises Casey that she will get themselves out of the situation. There is a funny scene where Casey tells Beth that she will be a good mom as she knows how to lie to kids.
I'm getting us out of here. I promise.
You'd be a good mom someday, honey.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you know how to lie to kids.
Beth opens the door and runs to the elevator. The non-functioning elevator gets filled with blood and both Beth and Casey escape narrowly from drowning. Ellie, meanwhile, makes holes in Bridget and Danny's body, and all three of them become one demonic evil entity. When the elevator plummets to the basement, both Beth and Casey gets to escape from the elevator into the parking lot. Even though Beth escapes, Casey gets caught. Beth, to keep her promise to Casey, comes back to save Casey. They both work together to use the wood chipper and a chainsaw to destroy the demonic entity. With the body of the evil entity destroyed, both Beth and Casey escape the building together. The next morning, Jessica, leaving for her vacation from the parking lot filled with blood, is seen attacked by an invisible force. This makes us question what it really means by the complete destruction of the wars, as the evil still prevails. The team has done a good job in keeping the thrill and the flow, even though they could have included a few jump scare scenes to make this movie more interesting. It is true that the high expectations set by the movie makers were not fulfilled, but it is still a good horror movie. To enjoy the movie in theaters, we will see you in the next video.
This movie, I give it a 3. It sucked. There was no good jump scares in it. It was just terrible.
So it didn't satisfy your expectations.
No, not at
Did you
all.
like any part of the movie?
No.
No,
Terrible.
nothing.
The movie, it was alright, but it wasn't really. It was just a bunch of laughs. I didn't really feel scared, nor jump scared. I've been jump scared by old ass movies, so it's like I don't really think it was alright, but it wasn't that scary on a scary level where it's supposed to be. I'll give it a 4.
Yeah, the movie was terrible, and I ain't gonna lie. I watch a lot of scary movies, so I know what a good scary movie is. But this movie was mid. It was like 4 out of 10. I ain't gonna lie. It's probably because I missed half of the part from the beginning. But no jump scares. I ain't flinched not once. Straight face the whole time, laughing. So me, benefit of that, I give it a little 4. I wouldn't watch it again.